Back with Helena Bonham Carter. Let me ask you here about when you first wanted to do something in this business. You were in school, and as I read, a school chum of yours, a schoolmate, got an agent and got an acting job.
That's
right.
right.
And you saw this all happen. What happened to her that made you want to do it too?
Well, she seemed to be receiving quite a lot of attention, I guess, from everybody else in the school. So I suppose, although it's not very edifying, but I guess I was inspired by envy right at the beginning, and so she got this agent, and so I got the agent too. I heard her talking to her agent rather conspicuously on the school phone, and I heard,
she talked conspicuously on the school phone.
Well, you do, you know, talking to your agent on the school phone is quite conspicuous, I think, or ostentatious is the word. So I found out the name, and then I rang up and got on her books without my friend knowing, and then toddled on to, off to auditions for the next 2 years.
And what was the first acting job that you ever got, with this agent or without this agent?
I was on a commercial,
really?
A hi-fi commercial, one of those music machines.
Sure, sure.
Showing off the radio potential. So I was actually doing a radio play of Romeo and Juliet. So I was in a speaker as Juliet, and Romeo was in the other speaker. And that was my first job. It was probably about the worst day of my professional life.
And so your face wasn't seen, just with the voice of Juliet?
No, they showed it. It was on television.
Oh, they did.
And then that was my break, but it wasn't. And then I did, I played a ghost, an Edwardian ghost. So I started off where I was to continue when I was about 17, and then I got the agent who represents me now, and he put me up for Lady Jane, which was not the most successful movie, but that was my big break. Yeah,
and I read somewhere on Lady Jane you had a temper tantrum where you screamed at everybody.
No, I don't think so. I think that I had my own private tantrum, but I don't think anyone found out about it. Well, obviously you have, but no, on the whole I was quite well behaved. But I remember losing my temper once, but nothing very particularly.
I've read that you were given to door slamming as a girl.
Oh, as a child, I had a terrific temper. As I've got older, I seem to have got more tame on the whole. But I mean, I think on the whole I know that I make such a fool of myself if I lose my temper and become completely inarticulate. So on the whole, I don't tend to lose it anymore. And
then you had the one friend who got the agent who was an actress, and then you had another school chum named Margaret. And she pulled a prank on you one time.
No, I think, no, Martha.
Martha,
well, Martha, Margaret's the movie, Martha's the,
okay.
That's fair enough. But, no, I think that was to do with the fact that we're both incredibly innocent. I was a very innocent child, I guess, and not very naughty at all. But there was one, and the one time I really got told off was utterly innocent, was when I was at school in an English class, and we had to read aloud. And it was a book very, very sort of, it's called Sided with Rosie, and the front page had been, I can't remember, some sentence saying like the river was banked with violets, and somebody had scribbled, my B of banked and put a little W in front of it.
Wanked.
Exactly, but I didn't know what it meant, so I put my hand up sort of saying, excuse me, miss, but I think there's a typing error and which one's right. Whereas, the whole class went up and I was the only person who didn't.
Would it be banker or wanker, huh?
Well, yeah, the violets wanked, the river bank. But that was how innocent I was at 13. I was told off, and I still didn't understand why I was told off.
I think it's a charming story. Thanks for coming over tonight, and I hope that your picture is an enormous success.
Well, I hope so too. Thanks for having me.
My great pleasure. Helena Bonham Carter is the guest. The picture is called Margaret's Museum. You'll look for it at theaters in your area. We'll be right back after these messages.